Well, hello friends. I'm going to give you guys a second to get logged in. I am a little bit late today getting on, and some of it was that I was out running errands and I got back and then I started answering customers and helping people with orders, and I got completely sidetracked and I'm like, what? It's 3:15. So, hey, Marianne, thanks for joining today. I'm just getting logged on a couple minutes late, and it's just one of those days, but it's all good. But we're all here now. Welcome, everybody. So the other thing that I don't have is I don't have my laptop to monitor comments. So, tricky. I wasn't planning to cover in colors for another couple of weeks because I don't want to tease you guys who aren't demonstrators. As a demonstrator, we were able to pre-order some of the new products coming out in the new annual catalog starting on May 3rd. And the first thing I did, because I'm a paper hoarder, is I took the paper that I wasn't going to use right away, the 12 by 12, and I love 12 by 12. I'm a scrapbooker first. When I started being a demonstrator, the reason I signed up was I wanted a discount on my products. So I am definitely a paper hoarder. And so I took my 12, like a couple pieces of my 12 by 12 that came in the new in colors, and I cut them into 1/4-inch strips. So I wasn't going to show this right away, but you know, it happens. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera and I want to show you like my process and what I came up with. Okay, so let's do that first. And I'm definitely should. I don't know what I could do so that I could see comments, but I don't have a laptop here, so I can't do that. So hopefully I'll come back and look at your comments at the end though, okay? All right, sorry if you're rolling on a river here. I'm gonna move the whole table. That's a bit better. So you might be thinking, well, what in the heck are we looking at, Selene? And what I did was I cut up my in color paper strips. Actually, before we get there, let's look at the colors. And today's kind of a big day. I have been waiting for years and years and years to get enough subscribers to do a YouTube live. And today I have my 1,000th subscriber on YouTube, which means that I have a new skill to learn. So you might be watching this as a replay on YouTube. If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that I don't lose the capability to do a live. But the first thing I do when I get an ink pad is I peel that little outside sticker off, okay? And then I'll open it. And you know, our ink pads, they open like a compact, so straight up, and then you can slide it in. Well, here, there's a little gap, and that gap is for a sticker. I think maybe it's the long one. This one appears to be a tiny bit longer than the other one, so I'm going to go for it and guess that that's the one. But this is so that if you have a bunch of ink pads on the table, like in a class or whatever, or even if you're just stamping at home, that you don't look at this ink pad and this ink pad at the same time and think that they're the same color. So, and by the way, I've seen the graphics that have been floating around online of these in colors. These are remarkably purple in colors, in person. So this one is the Orchid Oasis. And again, I'm gonna take the strip that's just a tiny bit longer and I'm gonna lay this in the pool here. Okay, so this is how I process my ink pads when they come in brand new so that I don't make a whoopsie if I have more than one ink pad open on the table. Okay, so I'll close those up. Now the next thing I do is I have the ink pad in front of me, and these sit in my Stampin' storage. The storage is available towards the back of the book, but this is Starry Sky, and I definitely want to see from the front of the ink pad what color I've got. So I put them on like so. Okay. So that's just, and then I've got 3 more stickers back here that I could use for whatever. I could put one on the back if I wanted, but I think that's a waste. I'm going to hold on to these, and you never know when you might need a Starry Sky sticker. But it makes it so much easier when everything's on the shelf and you can see that you have the correct ink pad. And then even when it's on the table, to have that matching sticker for the inside of your pad. So that's your tip of the day right there. Orchid Oasis. So I will do all 5, but for right now, these 2, I didn't do the stickers yet, but that's okay. We've got Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet. I thought this was pink, and when I got it, it's remarkably like red with a bit of pink mixed in. And then, like I said, I thought that these were blue based on the PDF, but they're remarkably purple, and they're fabulous. Oh my gosh. All right. So I am a true paper hoarder, and I'm only allowed to get so much paper, right? So I took my 12 by 12 and I cut it into 1/4 inch strips. And of course, Roy G. Biv is real. So I went with Roy G. Biv order and laid out strips of my 1/4 inch. Now this one looks a little thicker. Some of them are going to be like that. I mean, I hand cut this paper. It's not like, you know, nobody's perfect, but I'm going to try and keep them so that I have, for a complete set, that the strips are kind of the same width. I guess it doesn't matter. There we go. All right. So then I took a piece of white, basic white paper, and I started out by laying just a strip across. Now, there's a bunch of extra room at the top up here, and I don't want to run the glue the whole way up because that piece will be ultra helpful when I get to the end. So here we go. I took this piece, ran it almost to the end because you have to remember liquid glue is liquid. So when you push down on it, it's going to spread out. So I did this. I put my fingers there so I know where my glue is, and then I'll just flip that over. So I will continue this process all the way down. And let's see. And I'll try not to put too much glue. So I'm trying to keep it as thin as possible. Last night it was pretty cool. As I was doing them, I actually had a dotted line because I was getting it on so thin and not talking at the same time. So, you know, when you're talking and crafting, anything can happen. I easily mess up. Okay. So you keep going with this entire process until the whole sheet is covered. And when you get to the ends, you can just do the same thing, and you can take all these little cut off pieces and reuse them. This one ended up a little bit crooked, but I think it's going to be fine for what I'm using it for the designer paper effect. So then I took this, and it makes it, oh, there's 2 pieces of paper there. It makes it super easy. Then, I feel like I want a piece of dark cardstock back here. Hang on. Makes it super easy to see where the line is to trim the back. So I know that my lines will be straight because all I have to do is flip it over and trim. So you could stick down like maybe 5 pieces, that, you know, one of each of the in colors, trim it off, and then just hold on to these pieces because at the end they could come in handy, right? Okay. So why am I playing with paper this way? Well, I only get so much paper ahead of time, and I want to send out cards for customers and for people who are picking up catalogs here. And I want to make sure that when your catalog goes out, it doesn't go out naked, right? And I thought, what better way to send out a sample than to make you a card that has all 5 colors on it. Now, I don't know how many, I mean, I have to send, I think, something like 70 catalogs out today. and I definitely have not made 70 cards yet, but I've got bows tied and I am cooking. So I did one of each of the in colors, but I used the background color. Here, let's put them in order here. We'll go that way and that way. Let's see if you can see them better. And then that way. And then that way. And then this is a new stamp set. A paper hug for me came from a new stamp set that's coming out that has our angel policy. So if you're making cards and you're selling them, you're supposed to have an angel policy with the Stampin' Up! Logo on the back of your cards. And so this is the new angel policy stamp set. And I thought a paper hug from me is absolutely perfect. If you know me and my business, my team name is Stampers with Heart, and everything for me is all about heart. Like since the start of my business, it's always been about what's doing right and helping people and building each other up and all of that fun stuff. So I thought today we might take this idea and make it go a little bit further, because it took me, I don't know, a good 45 minutes to fill my sheet last night. So I thought that was quite a bit. All right. So I'm going to bring in the Big Boss, my Stampin' cut and emboss machine. And you may notice that I am using the blue plate. The blue plate came from the old machine that we used to sell, but it is the exact same thickness as plate number 4, which I am not locating right now. So I thought we might do a little embossing. And I am putting 2 colors back to back because I can emboss 2 at a time here. And then I need plate number 4, or in this case, the blue plate. Hey, the blue plate special. That means, do I get a discount? I'm all about that. Go for the early bird special. All right, here we go. So there is the first Orchard Oasis and Sweet Sorbet. And then I'm going to do Parakeet Party by itself because I have 5 pieces of paper here. So I'll just do one for this one. And this is the this is a current embossing folder. It's that paint splatter one. And I think it carried over to the new catalog. So I'm just rolling these through. So for a 3D embossing folder, people always ask me, oh, do I have the wrong sandwich? For a 3D embossing folder, you just need the base plate, so the number 1, the embossing folder with the paper inside, obviously. And I'm going to use 2 pieces because when you run, 36 times for 1 card class for so many people. Hey, speaking of, that Ladybug class is still available through tomorrow night. You can place an online order and I'll send you the Ladybug class absolutely free, that you get the PDF directions in your inbox, the 4-card class, including the bunny card. And I'll get them out as soon as they come in so that you'll have a chance to get it before Easter comes. You'll be saving the bunny for next year. Oh my gosh, so cool. Aren't these great? All right, and again, I'm not seeing your comments. I'm going to take a 2-second break. I'm going to stand up and see if you have anything. 2 pieces. Yep, I do 2 pieces, Susie, because I would drive myself crazy otherwise. Let's see. Ta-da. Okay, cool. I'm just sorry if the camera was shaking for a second. I wanted to make sure I was catching your comments. Okay, so now I think I'm looking at this piece of paper, and my original one, okay, so I told you this took me a little over an hour. I cut my paper, and I'll write this down so you can come back and pause the video if you're watching it on the replay or whatever. Here, let's take a scrap paper here. And I cut my designer paper to 4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so I cut a 4-inch strip, a 4-inch strip, and then I was able to get 4 pieces that were 2 3/4. And then I had this cute little 1/2-inch strip left. And that strip has prompted what I want to do today a little bit. So I was worried that if I cut this up and I only had enough cards for 8 people to send out with my catalogs, that I wouldn't be like using my time the best. So here we go. I'm gonna take this, and this is an old cutter, so don't mind me, but it's just what I had out. Anybody remember this Stampin' Up cutter? Well, I still use mine. So this is 5.5, and right now it's 5.5 by 8.5. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 1/2-inch strips. So I'll start at the 6-inch mark. And now, instead of only being able to make 8 cards out of 1 sheet of this designer paper that I made, I'm going to make a whole lot more. I don't want to do a 1/4 inch. I want to do a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut it 5.5 and 5 and 4.5. This is where I really test my glue skills to see if I got glue on every ounce of the paper. And if not, I can try and glue this stuff back together. Oh yeah, it is still my favorite cutter, Robin. I'm with you. But I don't know. I like the other one because you can cut like in the middle of a paper. Like I could start at the 2-inch mark and cut to 4. So everything has its own purpose. But where I'm cutting through multiple layers of cardstock with this, it is kind of comforting to have the big machine. This one I use to prep all of my classes, and I can cut 3 pieces of paper at a time with it. But not everybody could. People used to have trouble with that. So when I get to the end, I have a 1-inch piece. If I really want to futz with this, I'll put it in the current smaller cutter to get my piece going here. But now, instead of getting, 8 cards out of this thing that took me an hour to put together, now I can use them as an accent piece. Oh, look, I got little confetti. Whoopsie. Well, hopefully it doesn't mess with the cards. But now I'm making cards that have every in color supported, so that people can get a gauge to what they look like, but I don't have like a ton. Whoops, I went 5.5. So when I get to the end, I'll have to trim these. It happens. Well, before I do the next batch, you bet your bottom dollar I'll be cutting them to 5 1/4, silly goose. But then that'll give me another piece that I can, so if this was 5.5 and I cut that, I'll have a 1/4 inch piece that I can go this way on a card with, right? Oh, and the red came off of my finger. Okay, so there's the green, Parakeet Party. So I was just thinking it would be really good for me to get the most out of this paper that I made. And like, it's so fun to send a sample that has all the 5 colors so that you can actually see them. I did it again. I glued all the way to the top. Goofball. I'll cut that off in a second. I just love the new purples. Oh my gosh. Starry Sky and Orchard Oasis. Say that 5 times fast, I dare ya. Okay, so that's 3, and I'll just trim these again as I go. And it does make it super easy to trim them because it's hanging over and it's white and it's here, I'm here. I'm not messing with the card at all because I'm using the back as a guide. And these other pieces that I have for more cards, I'll probably trim again. Oh, see, now this has the blue, so I want to keep the blue, so I'll glue that side. Can I tell you how satisfying this is? Like last night, I had so much fun. We hang out on Zoom on Mondays, right? And all I did was stick those papers down and just, it was so chill. Like it would be something fun to do in front of the TV. You wouldn't want to do it if you were in a rush. You want to make sure that you're relaxed and just nothing to do. And that's when it is the most fun. It's almost like just coloring. I love to go places like a retreat that I'm not working and just bring my coloring stuff. Hey, that's a good idea. Maybe we should bring in the new blends. What do you think? Let me see. All right. I had my nails done today, and my girlfriend Chrissy, she's also a stamper, but I was telling her about the new colors, and I told her that I wanted a blue and that I wanted something for Easter. And when she pulled out this glitter, I said, oh my gosh, I'm an in color. So I have in colors on my fingernails. Go figure. All right, so we have the Orchid Oasis Dark and Light. These are the blends to match that came in my pre-order. And again, so if you're not a demonstrator and you decide that you want to become a demonstrator, you can put these on your starter kit, which is pretty cool. I don't think that they are low inventory or anything. And that starter kit is $99 plus tax to where you live in the United States. Other countries are a different price, obviously, because of the price conversion or whatever. And then you get $125 that you pick out in product of your choice. So you could put these as your starter kit option. Oh, it's like, where'd the blue markers go? Does this not look like Tempting Turquoise? It does to me. Okay, and then Remarkably Red. I thought that this was pink online. Sweet Sorbet. It is a strawberry sorbet, so it is definitely not like the strawberry slush, which was more pink. This is definitely more closer to poppy, but with a tiny bit of pink in it. How's that? And then let's grab some green. Parakeet Party. Such a cute lemon lime kind of color, perfect for summer. And I'm already grouping these in my head. Like I want to do these three together and these three together and maybe like these two. Oh my gosh. So cool. So I did read online that the new shimmer ribbon wasn't exactly the same color as the paper, and I think you're absolutely right. We determined that this one really matches the polished pink that's in color that's staying. So this is going to be a perfect match to polished pink. And then the one that's the dark purple in the ribbon, the light purple matches both perfectly. So it's like the dark side and the light side. But then this one, we were saying, even though it does pull some of those tones, it's definitely like a navy. So I think it would go amazing with Night of Navy and like grays. So these shimmery ribbons that are going to be going with in colors may not be the exact in color, but they're going to reach across our color spectrum, which I'm pretty excited about. Like I said, I can't wait to put this one with the other pink because I think that this is a little darker, and I'd go white with this. All right. So I didn't have a lot of time before my live. Obviously, I came in a little late. So I was thinking that maybe we would come to my spare parts bin and pick out a few die cuts that we could stamp on and have some fun with. This one I think is going out. That's the Tasteful Textures. That one's staying, thank goodness. This one's staying. It's that time of year. People are trying to order stuff. My friend was trying to order the sweet strawberry stamp set today, and it was already sold out. And so she ordered it in French to get the strawberries. It's a crazy time of year. And I can't believe I got 1,000 YouTube subscribers. It feels like it didn't happen, but I guess I'll figure it out when I have to go live on YouTube and figure out how to do a live there. If any of you that are smart and fancy with that stuff, if you give me suggestions, I would love to hear them. This one's going out. They were my favorite, Stitched So Sweetly. Those are going out. All right. How about if we pick a stamp set? So I saw a couple of things that caught my eye in the pre-order. This one is pretty cool. It's for the guys. It's a happy birthday to a classic. That might be kind of fun to just stamp on. So someone asked me how I process my stamps to get them ready to stamp with. And it all depends. If I'm in a rush, like I tend to be when I'm on a Facebook Live, I would be tempted to just wheel the back off of that, the white part, and stick it to the thing and move on. But I'm going to get my scissors. I keep one pair of scissors that are specifically for cutting rubber. And I don't want to cut the underpad. I cut a little bit of this red rubber going around, because if I have people in a class and we make this, by the way, the image, the happy birthday to a classic, tell me which of the 5 in colors you think the car should be in. So while we do that, you guys can start to vote. Parakeet Party, which is the green. I don't think so. So we'll just like cross that one off. Tahitian Tide, it's not really, well, could be a car color. Actually, my friend Michelle drives a car that's that color. It's absolutely fabulous. The 2 purples or the red. So you guys tell me which color we should stamp the birthday card, the birthday dude card in. And we'll go for that. We'll go for that first. Oh, it is so nice to be here and just crafting. The week has been a little bit crazy, and no matter what, I can know that Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be here sitting with you and getting to talk about whatever's on my table. And this time it just happened to be in colors because I'm doing that. So that's the first thing I do to get my stamps ready. Now, if you notice, I'm holding it flat right against the camera. I didn't cut any of the underpad underneath. So I left that gray foam intact. And the reason I did that is once I peel this off, and this is from my friend Sue, who I met through YouTube, I stick it to my block. And when I'm done, I'll clean it. And then I take this and I stick it to the inside of my case. Now, you may wonder why I don't use my stickers. And that is because, number one, they're so sticky. I have trouble getting them off my blocks. And number 2, I almost always put them on crooked. So it's a 2 for a reason that I don't happen to like the stickers or use them. And all my friends say, what are you doing, Selene? I have to put the stickers on mine. So I say, live and let live. If you're a sticker person, I'm sure that there's someone on YouTube that has done a video showing how to do stickers. All right, so I think the first thing I want to do, and oh, Starry Sky, let me see. I want to see what you're voting. Starry Sky. Oh, everybody. Oh, sorry, I hit the button. Starry Sky, Sorbet, Starry Sky. So far, Starry Sky is winning the car contest, but I want you to know that what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this 2-toned. So I want to see which one will fit the car. I like this one. And actually, if it goes like this, it kind of looks like a car emblem, doesn't it? Look at... All right, so let's put some ink on it, and then I'm gonna get the cleaner and we're gonna do 2 colors for this. Because I think that the car should be a different color than the, and okay, so when I'm inking this up, I'm noticing that it's not pure black when I'm inking up, and that's because this is a brand new stamp set. So the process is pretty cool. When I was new Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I did a good job, and they took me to this thing called Founder's Circle, and they took us through the factory and showed us how they were made. So the best thing I can tell you is you definitely want to use the scrub and mist to clean your red rubber stamps when they're new. And then you can rub it with your finger. You can rub it with an eraser. You can scratch it up on your pants, because here's what happens. There's this big titanium plate and they melt the rubber against it. And then they peel it off and then they attach it to the foam, and that's where it gets die cut. So there might be like, I don't know, 10, 12 stamp sets on one sheet like this. And you see these little notches? There's a person at the home office that gets to cut these out for you. So that's why it would be kind of impossible for them to cut it so close, and it could mess with the integrity of the stamp if it gets too close. But that's why I trim them, so that if you're in my class here in Drake It, and you go to stamp this stamp and you happen to be kind of heavy-handed and you smush, you won't catch this little edge that goes all the way around. So that's why I love stamping with people, and I am definitely an in-person girl first. Okay, so I have roughed this up. I cleaned it. Let's see if it looks better when I go to ink up. Oh yeah, so that's nice and pretty, and I am confident that when I stamp this, pardon my head if you can see it. So that's a nice solid image, and I notice I don't catch any edges, and that's because I've cut them all off. All right, so I love that some of you have said Starry Sky, so let's stamp one in that color, and I'll let you change your answer if you decide that you like the red, because I'm gonna stamp them both and we'll decide. So let's start with Sweet Sorbet. I think the first person who commented said Sweet Sorbet, so if not, I'm sorry, I misread. Again, I don't have my laptop out here today, so I have to stop in between and read comments. Look at how cool that is. Sorry. Nothing like fresh ink. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then okay, so you guys said Starry Sky. That's the darker purple. And we could like maybe use both somehow. Let's see. All right. So here's the Starry Sky. Oh, good God, that's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna come back up and look at your comments here in a second to see if we're still on the Starry Sky or if we're gonna switch to Sweet Sorbet. So, and we'll probably use this for our finished one, and we'll cut one of these out and put it on top. So let's see what we got. Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet. Starry Sky, Starry Sky, Sorbet. All right, so Starry Sky is our winner. Ooh, I just turned comments off so I can't see them. Special. All right, so again, I'm sorry I don't have my my monitor today. It's a strange day. Okay, so we'll put this guy over here for now because, yep. And I'm going to just take this and trim around the edges. Now, when you're cutting, I'm going to move that so you can see better. When you're cutting out fussy, I like to keep the scissors stationary in front of me. So I'm moving the paper as I go and not the scissors. And it really helps when I am doing anything because it makes me less likely to chop, although I just think I had a choppy edge right there. It's because I was talking about it. Is that Murphy's Law or whatever? Yeah. Okay. So trim this out. I'm leaving a white border all the way around because it's going to be okay. We're going to piece this on to the layer underneath it. And all of these products will be available May 3rd. So if you're not a demonstrator, sorry. If you are, you can get a discount on them and get them ahead of everybody, which is so fun. It's a great perk. And we have a great team. My teammates and I are doing a new catalog swap. We just swap every single month. And then we have a mystery card challenge this month that Cheryl just posted, so I'll probably make something out of these for that. And I love that my designer paper, my homemade designer paper is going so much further. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe I should cut the wheels off the car, because if I do that, then the wheels will be black and the car will be purple. I think it's going to give it more interest. So I'm going for it. Ready? The wheels on the car. This bugger's going up on blocks. You laugh. I was driving in Lowell, Massachusetts the other day and saw a car with no tires up on blocks and thought, really? Does that still happen? Okay. So here we go. So this technique is called paper piecing. And I'm just going to take this and toss it up on. Oh yeah, it looks so much better with the black tires. Whoop, whoop. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of that extra piece. I could keep the happy birthday, but it's all good. If I want one, I'll just stamp another one. I feel a sneeze coming, so excuse me. I said it, so it didn't happen. It is definitely allergy weather coming. It rained and rained and rained, and then the sun came out, and it's glorious out here in Massachusetts today. All right. So I want to wink Estella this, but I'm actually thinking of a different tool because it's a car and I might want to make it shiny. So hang on, I'm peeling off the back. These buggers are not behaving for me today. All right, here we go. Wow, I love it. So how about some light parakeet party headlights? Because, yeah, is this not like the retro car? And because the ink on the bottom was classic ink, oh, I didn't peel them all off, so now it's not sticking. Hang on. I just did a couple. Gotta stick it down, Selene. All right, so there we go. Parakeet party for the headlights. My goodness, I was gonna go this way, but now I'm thinking totally this way. And maybe we need a parakeet party base layer. And I don't know, something behind it. Let's see what I got. Everything I have cut is white. I'm looking. White isn't terrible though. I could give it a color with my blend. Just never know what you'll find in my bag of tricks. But, you know, because it's a new catalog, I'm probably going to clean this out Who knows? Maybe I'll send it to somebody. I'm not loving that, but I'll find something to go back there. Maybe like, I don't know. It's not quite there yet. Okay. So I'm going to take this one and I'll finish it off camera and I will post it to our creative group at Creating with Selene. And I'm just going to put this one to the side so that I can play with the other samples. So we're bringing this to a classic back in. And I'm thinking that I love this, but I think I want to do the same thing again. I need another circle. Well, I don't have a circle, but I do have this. So how about if we clean our stamp? And I already sprayed this, so there's enough cleaner on there that I don't need to spray it again. And we'll go again with To a Classic. My gosh. See, it's so weird. Okay, that didn't stamp right. I don't like that. Throwing it out. So it's a new ink pad, so I'm gonna kind of walk around. Might be a little over inked. They tend to put a lot of ink on them when they're brand new because they want you at home to be successful with them when you get them. But see how it's like beading up a little bit? This one might actually be oversaturated. So I'm just gonna go easy and tap, tap, tap. And I'll grab a different shape. How about this one? And it's gonna be okay because I think I'm gonna cut the red card out anyway, like we did on the other card. But I think I still want black tires, so I'm gonna have to find my black blends. They were with that online workshop for the Ladybug. Such a cool, my husband likes to watch the racing car shows at night. So a card like this for him would be fantastic. I bet he would love it. But his birthday isn't till October, so I'll have to either put it in the drawer or send this out with my new catalogs. I think I'll probably do that. And everybody will get a card, but they're all going to get something different. So I definitely have my work cut out for me this week. Oh, look, I cut the mirror off. Perfect. Let's do it again. We'll do it on purpose and we'll have blue mirrors. So because blends markers can tend to run a little bit, I'm going to go get myself a black classic marker because the classic markers are not alcohol based and the ink won't spread when I try to color with it. It's such a small area. I don't want to go outside the lines. Not for this one. All right. Hey. Oh, geez. I'm sorry to hear that, Carolyn. Wow. Well, I hope everyone is okay. So I'm glad I'm here to give you your crafty break after any stress you have going on today. I hope that your day gets better. Let's see. So I've got my black marker and I'm using the skinny side of my classic marker. This is the only classic marker that's available for sale by itself. I think they're $3 in the store. But it's nice to have on hand for something like that. And then we'll grab some more dimensionals when I can find them. There they are. Good at making a mess. I'm going to put a big one back there. So that's the side of my dimensionals. And then another little spot here. Now it's gonna stick. We'll make it stick. So here's my red car on my blue writing, and my blue mirrors. Perfect. Do we want to color the headlights again? You guys tell me if so, what color. I am definitely pulling in some Wink of Stella on this though. It needs it. It is so cool. Not that everything doesn't have Wink of Stella in my world, but my goodness. Okay, so here, let me give you a close-up of that so you can see it. Love it. All right. So this one could go here. And again, I'm going to want to put another layer on that somehow. I'm thinking, you're going to laugh, let's grab one of these ribbons. That's not the right color. I officially have too many things on my table. And look, another gorgeous stamp set that I want to try out. Maybe we'll ink that up before we sign off. I like this one. And those shapes are great. I'll hold on to those too. All right, so here's some of that blue ribbon that matches my nails. And we'll just slide. These dies are the color and contour dies. So they came from the color and contour bundle, but the dies themselves are called scalloped contours. I run into that all the time. It's so confusing when they're not named the same thing. Oh, that's so cool. Like I wanna. Okay, now we need to put some sort of blue emblem. The blue is gonna be right. Please don't let my blend bleed. Oh. But it needs a blue emblem. Ta-da! Okay, that's cool. And then I need bigger dimensional, so I'm just gonna use the sides of this one. It's cool how the mini dimensionals have like huge sides. Such a relaxing day today. I was all crazy up until I get to sit down and craft with you guys. All right. Faces and places. There's your eyes, nose, and mouth. That's a big nose, though. Okay, I'm going to let that hang so that when I adhere it, maybe in the middle. So fun. And then I'll grab, so I do this a lot. I'll adhere this to a base as soon as I find one. But you get the idea. You can run the adhesive down the sides, stick the ribbon to the back, and then adhere onto your card front. And I don't even think that I want to put a bow, because if it's a true guy card, a bow is irrelevant. I like the straight line. And I love how it cuts through that die. Do you know how many times I've used this die before I realized, hey, look, I found a card base and it has writing on it. What was I thinking? Nobody's gonna know though, so I'm just gonna stick it down. Cool. Okay, so that's another one. And like I said, this one, I definitely want to put something else back there, like, I don't know, a sun, sky, something. All right, let's move on. How about if we pull in a different stamp set? To begin with a dream, I'm gonna need a bigger stamp, a bigger block for this globe, which I think is pretty awesome. So this time I'm not going to trim my stamp because we're not at an in-person class, and I'm not going to rock my stamp, darn it. I just jinxed myself. Did you hear it? It was like 3 times I jinxed myself. But let's get some ink on this. I'm already loving it. This is Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and this is what I use with blends, and I probably should have conditioned this. Hopefully I can get enough ink on there that it doesn't... So you might notice I'm inking up backwards, and that's because I'm using the Memento ink, and because of the style pad that it is, I can actually see better when the stamp is bigger than my ink pad. Oh, I did rock. Son of a gun. So, moral of the story is, it would be a better idea if I had not rushed through. What did I say? I usually only mess up when I rush. Darn it. All right. I will take a second. And I'm only going to do it quick, but hopefully I don't mess up this time. But you can see what a big difference it would make if I didn't, because I wouldn't have wasted that die cut. Whenever we're doing die cutting in the studio, I always cut a couple extra because, you know, you get to the end of the packets and you realize you counted wrong, or if you plan on 1 extra, I just throw it in my extra parts bin, and it's perfect for Facebook Lives. Okay, so I'm not rocking. Ta-da. I couldn't get the black off the other one. Okay. I think this is pretty cool. I think I want to use like blue and green. I'm going to go with the lighter of the 2 blue. So when you buy a blends combo pack, they come in packs of 2, and there's a darker and a lighter. Wow, that color is gorgeous. And right now I'm working with the light one. And I'm just kind of getting it on there like a wash. And I'm using the big end. It really flies out of the tip, so I'm barely touching it, and I'm getting all kinds of pretty color here. But I try not to hold it there for too long because it's a blend marker, an alcohol marker, it tends to spread when you color it, and it does bleed through to the back. So if you're working on a surface that you're concerned about, be sure to put something underneath. It's funny, I was talking about like how I got 1,000 YouTube subscribers today, and how I wanted to do a series of videos. And I wanted to talk about doing a cutting 101 for new stampers that haven't like cut for a card before. And then I was like, and then I'll do blends. So here I am doing blends. And then I'll do how to open an ink pad, and we did that earlier today, and what I do to kind of get it ready. And I was like, and then I'll show them how to cut their stamps. So I actually, instead of doing a series of videos, I just did it all in one day. Crazy girl. So cool. What do you think about maybe switching from the light and doing this side with the darker blue? So we started with the lighter blue, and I'm gonna jump in and just change color here. And then at the end, I'll pull the dark into the light. That's where it all goes anyway, the dark into the light. So we'll start with that. It is a difference in the color. I'll show you a close-up in 1 second. It it's laying down pretty dark. Let's see. So I'm going to be able to see that line, and while it's wet is when I'm going to want to go back with the light marker and get rid of those lines. So you pull the dark right into the light and go back over it, and then it's like nothing was there. So there's the line. And you just keep pulling until it disappears and kind of blends. So that's the purpose of blends. There's also more, there's a lot more, but we'll start there. So more dark here. All right, so we got our globe colored, and look, so this side I use dark, this side I use light, and then in the middle, I grabbed the light marker and I pulled the color over to get it to move back into the light. Same thing with the leaves. I'm going to do a dark swatch on the bottom of the leaf. So I'm saying the bottom, I'm using the bottom right as a reference point to add my darker color. And then I'll use the lighter Parakeet Party on the top. So today, when I upload this video, I won't be able to do a supply list because none of these products are current yet, and they're not live for the service that I use. So I won't have item numbers for at least till May 3rd on these. But if you're considering becoming a demo and you go into the utility to sign up, they have it available, so you can just search blends markers. Hopefully you can search pre-order. That would be cool. And if you're a customer of mine and you've signed up to get a catalog, I'll be putting those in the mail as soon as possible. I want to get some of these in color cards made so that I can send them off to you. I love to color. Oh my gosh. So I love this, and I wanted to stick with the in colors. However, I think that we should bring in a little gray granite. It could be a wood color. It's definitely a gray, but it can sometimes substitute. Wow. Let's see. So this is the dark gray granite, and what I'm doing is I'm adding the dark color, the darker gray, where the artist made the lines. So I'm gonna finish blending that color into the rest of my base. Oh, and blending it out to the corner there where I missed a spot. And then I'm gonna use the color lifter in the middle to add a highlight all the way down my shiny base. So I'll let that set up for a minute because it'll bleed if I'm not careful, and I'll let it do its thing. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I got the light one by accident. So I'll start with the dark one, and I'll go up the little marks that the artist made. I'm not being fussy with it. I'm just getting a little color in there. And then it did blend. See how it bled on the outside? That's from my lifter getting it a little too wet. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes and get it cleaned up. But now I'm blending those lines I made with the dark marker on one swipe all the way up my image. So I've got my, and it did lift a little bit in the middle there for my highlight. Oh, see, it's wet, wet, wet. It's been sitting for a little too long. I need to use them more. But I'm not thrilled with the way that it moved that line, but let's see if I can get it to slow down or if that's going to make it worse. So right now, my color lifter is wet. You can see it. So I really want to, I need to be patient and wait until this one dries completely before I take it any further. So I'm not going to mess with that section of my my card any longer. And I'm back on the, because I see a little bit of blending line there and I don't care for it. So this is the lighter of the two blues again, and I'm pulling that that dark color back into to blend it a little bit more. I don't want to see any lines. I want my globe to look fluid, right? Okay. When it's completely dry, if it's not perfect, I may take the white chalk marker to it here, but it's still just a little bit wet, so I don't want to do that. How about this one? Ugh, it's hard to decide. I don't want to go that way with it because it seems like it takes up so much of my... I want that stripe thing to show. It's hard. Ta-da! No, I'm not loving it. I think... So I've already embossed this, and I know I'm taking my life into my own hands here, but I think I want to try and stamp the sentiment tone on tone right there. I may make a total mess of this, and if I do, well, we'll just throw it out. I'll rip up my 1/2-inch strip and start over, but I'm going to take a chance here. And press and hold for a second. I am stamping right on top of embossed paper, which seems kind of crazy, but not too bad. So, the H didn't go because I was on top of embossed, right? So, if you ever make a mistake when you're stamping, you can take a classic marker, not the blends, and kind of draw it back in. But what you want to do, this H has like a little, I'm going to dot it until it makes the letter. I'm not going to draw it in. So I am touching the paper and lifting my pen in between and kind of making dots until the dots connect. And there's a spot right there. Not too bad. So we stamped on top of an embossed piece of paper. Wow. Seems kind of crazy. And I'm going to cut this out because I think it would take up too much of our project, and I really want it to overlap all of that. So you're going to laugh where I start. I'm going to go here. And you might have heard the horn in the background. My family left the front door open, so it's like I'm outside. It happens. The joys of being live. My studio is in my garage here in Drake, Massachusetts, and I love my little studio. It's not the fanciest thing, but it's mine, and it's an art studio. All art all the time. So I am cutting that section out here. And notice I still kept my scissor in front of me the whole time because I want to make sure that I have nice even edges. Ta-da! So that's cut out. More beep beeps going by. If my husband is definitely not listening to me at this point, otherwise he probably would have shut the door. Shut the front door. And this is okay that it's coming apart a little because I only have one spot at the bottom there that's connected, but we're just going to glue it back down on the paper here in a second. So bear with me. Who would have thought I would be fussy cutting live? So I wonder who will get this one. They are pretty cool in color cards. Some of them that I send out in my packets in order to actually get 70 catalogs out will have to be a little bit more simple than this one, I think. Otherwise, you can expect your catalog in July. So forgive me if they're more simple. Okay, here we go. Turn the paper, not the scissors. Ta-da! This is gonna look cool when we're all done. And I do like the tone on tone. That Parakeet Party is so pretty, just stamped like right as it is. It really does show up. I know that the video may not be showing it as well, but it's fun. All right. Fussy cutting with Selene. All right. I was cold all day and now I'm warm. Go figure. Hey, Bri. Shut the door, please. So, brought to you by Tractor Trailer out front. Thank you very much. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue. I used a Seal Plus to put the globe down, but now I got some fussy work. So I want to use a little bit of liquid glue and piece this on a little bit because it's pretty darn cool sitting there. But I want to make sure it sticks. So this is the stickiest stuff ever. And I'll just reattach it where I cut it off so you can see that it's in the room and not totally cool, huh? And again, I'll cut some card bases for this after, but check it out. So fun. All right, well, you guys get the gist. I hope that, I'm gonna go back and look at some of your comments. Hang on. Let's see. Whew. I couldn't see your comments, so let's see. Which light blue? So there are 2 markers in every set of blends. So the light blue is for this one, Tahitian Tide, one of the new in colors. So the lighter one, and that's the darker one. Let's see. You jinxed yourself. Yep, the glitter on the car, exactly. Hello, hello, hello. Black tires, that's it. Oh my gosh. Well, it has been totally fun. And if you're on Creating with Selene, I will finish these 5 cards. I will get them posted along with the in-color sampler that's already done. And then I'm going to start mailing out your catalogs for those of you that registered for them. If you're a demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Already sent you one, and they have been arriving all over the country. So if you're on my team and you haven't gotten yours, we have to call Stampin' Up! I think it's May 2nd. But you should have already gotten yours. So anyway, much love to all of you. Let's see. Yeah, I wanted to share the in colors, but I didn't want to share them yet because I didn't want to tease you. But I felt like celebrating today, and thanks for being a part of my crafty world. I just love that I get to do this for work. So I'm happy to be here and happy to serve you. So if I can do anything to help, please let me know. Thanks, guys.